What are you looking at, huh? You want to escalate this to the next level? I've just summarized the plot of Beef. That was a joke. That's a joke. There's gonna be a transition. I'll just be saying beef, 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 beef. I love this show so much. Lee Sung-jin, oh, thank you for this. He's the creator of Beef, and he absolutely cooked with season one. And it was a smart decision to hire or have Steven Yeun as the star, in season one of Beef, because otherwise I wouldn't even thought to look twice at the show. Then I watched it, and I thought this was fantastic. Then they announced a season two. I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm getting bricked up. This is amazing. But I won't lie, I was a little bit skeptical of it because it wasn't a continuation, it's a new story. And, that's not really the driving force behind why I was skeptical behind it. What I was skeptical of was that if we would compare season 2 to season 1, it would be lacking. Like, I had high hopes that Lee Sung-jin would bring amazing work, but it would be lacking towards season 1. But then I saw the casting. I am so happy I was wrong about my initial skepticism towards the show. Because, in my opinion, I think season 2 is just as good as season 1. Season 1 holds a special place in my heart because it was the first time I saw it. First one I saw, and I really like the actor Steven Yeun. I've seen a lot of his projects, loved his performance and his character, but in terms of quality, I think it was just as good. Not better, but just as good. The season 2 casting, they had Kaylee Spaney. I don't know if I said that right. Have I seen her in a lot of projects? No, but I did watch her in Alien Romulus, and I really liked that movie. It was a great addition to the Alien franchise. And her as the main character was just, it was great. Like, I loved it. Co-starring alongside her was Charlie Melton. I got no clue who that guy is. I will get back to, not him, but his character. I've got a lot of words to say about that dude. Oscar Isaac, he's a favorite of mine. The Star Wars sequels aren't exactly a favorite of mine, but his performance as Poe Dameron, super entertaining. I love the energy he brought. Let's see what else he was. He was the House of Atreides. He was the first mutant Apocalypse. He was Moon Knight. The list goes on. As you can tell, I like the dude. And co-starring alongside him, playing his wife in the show, was Carey Mulligan. And for her, it was a bit of a different case. I knew I recognized her from something. Like, her face, her voice, it sounded so familiar. It took me a while. I think it was like episode 2 or 3. It just clicked for me. But she was in one of the very first episodes I ever saw of Doctor Who. Yes, I used to watch Doctor Who. And she was in my favorite episode, Blink. Many, or some of you, I'm not sure, might know what that episode is based on, but she stars in that episode, and it's one of my favorite episodes. I think I was 13, 14 years old, and I was absolutely terrified, but I also thought, man, these weeping angels, they are so cool. I think I stopped watching around the 12th Doctor, the old dude, which is besides the point. Back to Carey Mulligan. I remember for an English assessment, we had to do a analysis and a comparison between the movie and book version of Never Let Me Go. I do not remember I know I didn't fail. I don't remember if I did very well. I know. But yeah, that movie version of Never Let Me Go, it starred Carey Mulligan. Like, the cast for season 2 is just stacked, in my opinion. 3 of those actors, I've seen them in very prominent works. Charlie Melton, maybe I've seen him in something. I wouldn't remember. But I am looking out for him because of his performance in this season. It was great. Like, I would forget that they're playing characters. Because this is my opinion, but I think the show is a very different experience to season 1. I think what they're trying to put the audience in a position of was like sort of for me it was kind of like a fly on the wall, of this drama that was happening. I felt like a fly on the wall, or like a really nosy neighbor Like I heard something and I was just like, oh, what's going on? I kind of want to know a little more. Like I'm picking up bits and pieces there and it's just just reeling me in. Like kind of like that, like a nosy neighbor or a fly on the wall. The dialogue and the performance in the show, it's so entertaining. I love how they interact with each other and how they speak to one another and how that changes over the show. It's so good and it's not anything outlandish. These feel like I guess real people, not like weird people, like things that people would say in real life. Situations that people could get themselves into real life. I guess one of my favorite aspects of the show is like how it makes me really think. Like really think. Like the premise of the show, or at least how it starts out, is it focuses on these two relationships: the Gen X couple, Josh and Lindsay, and the Gen Z couple, Austin and Ashley. We kind of get thrown into their daily lives. The Gen Z are working at the country club. The Gen X are managing the country club. We do get like a brief introduction to the owner of the country club, but it's sort of insignificant because we don't learn much about her. But hold on, I'm gonna get really into spoilers now, and I have to say this: if you haven't seen Beef, please, please, please watch. I should probably say you have to be of age. I think it's like 15 plus. I'm sure it's different in other countries. In Australia, it's 15 plus. But yeah, here's your spoilers. BT dubs. The owner of the country club is Chairwoman Park. I hate that old hag, the character, not the actor. The beef starts off with Ashley and Austin witnessing a fight between Josh and Lindsay. And they recorded the fight between them in their own home. And it looks pretty bad. Josh and Lindsay, Josh makes a move to sort of scare Ashley with his position of power. Lindsay is met with Austin and she basically tells Austin it's completely normal and you are bound to experience it as well, that kind of thing. Cut to the next episode, Ashley makes her move. Shows in the video, and like I said, it looks really bad. And then she makes demands. I love it! So much scheming. Oh, this is just episode 2. Lindsay's blackmailing Whoosh. Josh is embezzling money. Josh uses Ashley's inexperience to his advantage. Ashley lies about Austin's qualifications. Austin committing to the plan and he has to fake his way being a PT. Oh my goodness, it's so good! I love how the show makes me feel like I said earlier, it's like I'm a fly on the wall. I desperately need to hear more of the information. I will fly around, try to get as close but not too close and just learn as much as I can. Oh, I love it. I love it. Austin and Ashley, they sort of like represent this hopefulness towards love in their future. They are the Gen Zs. I mean, we first see them, they look very much in love with each other. Josh and Lindsay, they're like in their early 40s. They're just trying to cope with their love. I wouldn't even say their love, just cope with each other. And, we learn that later on they're about to go through a divorce. Or they feel very strongly about divorce. They are is it Gen X or Millennials? Hold on, wait, hang on. Gen X versus Millennials. My apologies, they are not Gen X, they are Millennials. I have gotten that wrong. That is on me. I guess you could call them the Gen X's? No, well, I don't know. They're really old, but you have a third couple, briefly introduced, Chairwoman Park and her husband, who's a doctor. I forgot what his name was. He's barely in the show, but he does play an important role. They're elderly, and there's also another couple, JB and Ava, who are middle-aged. Very similar to Josh and Lindsay in terms of age gap, but the social hierarchy, they are higher than them because of their financial standing. In short, JB significantly has a lot more money than Josh does. And the nature of their relationship is very different to Josh and Lindsay. Chairwoman Park, that old hag, I was gonna call her the B word, but I guess I could tone it down. Killed even her adoptive son. and was prepared to kill Eunice. The show shows like 3 different views or perspectives of love in 3 different age groups. But it also shows like the different classes of social hierarchy and how each of those different classes interact with each other. And those that belong to those social hierarchies interact with their significant other. See how it makes me really think? I don't really use this much, but I really do like having it. Especially when the cogs are being wheeled, everything's just flowing. It just, like, I don't like using it, but when I do, and it's effective, and it's doing its job, oh man, am I just like on cloud 9. Season 1, loved it. Season 2, bloody awesome. This show might be like the only one that has left me to both love and hate the characters. Some I feel more hate towards, but definitely still interested in all the characters. I love watching these characters just exist, interact. Even JB and Ava, which they seem pretty two-dimensional at first. But we see Josh trying to use JB to gain favor in the upper levels of the social hierarchy. And Lindsay's sort of doing the same things, like gaining connections in the social hierarchy. In fact, I think Lindsay was, in fact, friends with Ava to feel like a sense of superior intellectual... No, I said that wrong. Intellectual superiority over her. And it kind of feels like a sense of maybe she belongs at this country club. Maybe not belong, but feel like she can be on the same standing as all these other rich couples and rich women at this country club. Oh, Eunice! I almost missed her. I haven't even mentioned her yet. Great character. And she's really entertaining. Her interactions with Ashley, I find, are just so entertaining. My goodness, I loved it. I love the drama. When they have, I think this is the first instance of meeting Ashley, they have lunch together. It's Ashley and Austin. That was really awkward. Austin wasn't helping. Ashley was trying to set up this connection. Gosh. Watching that, I felt like I was sitting at the table next to them. I will be having a conversation. I'll be telling my friends, yo, shut up. Listen to what's happening at that table. It sounds amazing. It sounds so, like, the drama is just so juicy. Man, I wanted to be so nosy. I felt like I was being so nosy, and I loved it. There was also the office scene where they were, throwing off expressions. They were trying to be so friendly, but it was really awkward. But, like, you could just feel the hostility in the air between the two. Oh my god, I loved it. There are just so many brilliant moments in the show. Every episode felt like a roller coaster. I loved how the episode played out. And like, whenever the episode ended, my goodness, my jaw was just on the floor. I think in the second episode, like, when the doctor kills the patient, on the floor. When Ashley put her period blood, I believe, it was in the orange juice to... Ashley was initially my favorite character. I say initially, I'll justify that later. I felt like every time she was on the screen, she was so entertaining. Like, something crazy would happen. Like, in the car scene, when you see her kind of like starting to panic, but she's like, thank you for being honest with me. I really appreciate that. And then she just jumps out the car and then she tells him, don't worry, I'm just fine. Oh my god, he's gonna leave me. Oh my god, I did not mean to swear, but I love that. And that juice, her blood in it. Oh my days. I want to wish that on my worst enemy. I wouldn't even be able to think of something like that. A revenge plot so nasty, so evil, so genius. There's no coming back from that. I also loved how she would solve confrontation with Austin by like when Austin was confronting Ashley, and it seemed like Austin was kind of making sense of winning the argument, and then she goes, fakes her stomach pain. You see Austin rushes over, is like, are you okay? Can I get you anything? Then she just was like, hey, can you can you get me a cup of tea and put it in this mug and add this to it, add some honey? I don't remember how exactly it went out, but I know that's basically what happened. I loved it. These characters, they're so interesting. I just want to learn more about it. And by the end of the series, my favorite character ended up being Josh. You know, he set himself free. He also set Lindsay free. Maybe he didn't initially want that. Because we do see that he's kind of slightly disappointed when he learns that Lindsay remarried, but he comes to terms with himself. Like, he's like, that's okay. As long as she's happy, I'm happy. Like, he found peace. The truth, like, it really did set him free. I mean, he took all the blame. Not all of it was his. Like, him coming about the embezzlement and letting go of Lindsay so, she could find peace. This is my interpretation. But actually, there was an instance I didn't really like, and that was his hospital scene. Was so like, I could get you seen by a doctor right now. You just gotta delete the video. Douchebag move. Like, I understand his seriousness, but like, come on. Yeah, so Josh's sacrifice, that's, a major component of the finale. And, speaking about the finale, I saw the audience rating for it. I think it was, I don't remember if it was Rotten Tomato or Popcorn Meter. Well, I mean, that was then. Might have changed now. But beforehand, I remember seeing it was like 68%. I was shocked about that. I didn't read any of the reviews, except one, which kind of like set me off in my mind internally. I'll get to that review. I think one of the reasons it got such a low audience rating was because of the ending. It wasn't like a happy ending, like none of like a fairy tale, everything's all good kind of thing. No one got a fairy tale ending. But here's my counter argument to that. If they did, it would be so cliche and boring. Would it have been great to see them break out of the cycle? Maybe, yeah. Oh, well, Josh and Lindsay kind of did when the cycle restarted. We go back to episode 1, but instead of Josh and Lindsay speaking at this fundraising party thing, it was Austin and Ashley. You can see they are not happy. They're in the exact same positions as Josh and Lindsay in episode 1. They are not happy, but they did receive what they wanted at the start of the series. Financial stability, a big home, and well, we assume it's a big home, and a family. I get it. I was also kind of in the same boat. I would like to see Austin not be a coward against uncertainty. I would like to see Austin break out of the cycle to set himself and also Ashley free. And I would also like Chairwoman Park to be put behind bars and justice be found towards the two dead bodies who were murdered by her husband. I would like to see Austin not be a coward when it counts. He gives into people pleasing, like he's a slave to it. At first, I thought it was funny. But there were small acts throughout the show, and it tells a lot about him. The vending machine is a big tell. Like, he's got the Gatorades, he's got the 2 colors. His fiance wants the red one. There's a yellow one in his hand, and every other Gatorade's yellow. And then they just was like, he gives into the request of a stranger to give him the red one. What? Why? That was a stranger he gave into. It's just these small scenes. And the stakes were low, yes, but then when he could have broken the cycle because Eunice didn't feel the exact same, or he thought maybe Eunice will just put me through the same thing again. He's such a coward against uncertainty, he lets that control him. So he decides to settle for Ashley. Guess what, buddy? Uncertainty is life. That's life, that's how you grow. Now you indirectly have 2 bodies on your name. And the families of the 2 bodies, they will never get justice or closure. That's on you. Chairwoman Park, you're an evil, evil witch. So, what are my final thoughts about the show? I'll tell you this. I've come up with a conclusion. I think, in my perspective, it is a red flag if you haven't seen Beef. Or rather, they have no interest to attempt to watch a show that I feel passionately about, such as Beef. Oh, sorry, voice crack. Such as Beef. both seasons of the show, you'll receive like a very different experience. And I'm really glad they went with that direction. Like each season you get a different experience. And the show itself, in my personal opinion, is like the furthest thing from cliche. Like when the show makes you feel something, you really feel it. I've given it a lot of praise, but I just can't give it enough praise because it's just so fantastic. I loved it. Season 1 was already just outstanding, and season 2 is just, oh, so, I'm running out of words to say for good. One of my favorite foods is burrito. It's so burrito, alright? It's so good. You could probably tell I only really have good things to say. My only complaint, just like in season 1, is that I don't get to see these characters again. I'm really gonna miss seeing them on my screen, following along with the drama. That's really all I wanted to say. And you could probably tell you could probably tell I've barely scratched the surface of beef. I didn't even talk about, that circle thing at the end and how it's like a cycle of life and all that, and Chairman Park's in the middle and you got all the couples around, and on the outside I think it was like daily activities kind of thing. I didn't even talk about that. But the video is already way too long, so I'm gonna leave it there with just one last note. To the review that was comparing White Lotus to beef, White Lotus wishes it could be beef. Both shows are good. I've seen both. Well, I've only seen season 1 and 2 of White Lotus. I haven't seen season 3. But both shows are good. It's just beef is just so significant. So much better, in my opinion. Sorry this turned out to be a really long video. I just feel so passionately about this show. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and have a good one. I promise you, if you watch Beef, I think you and I will click. In fact, we would be best friends. To anyone who knows me in person, go watch Beef and report back to me.